All right, guys, back with another episode on the Ironbuilt podcast. It's your host, Sean Smith and Ray Williams.
Yeah.
So just to start the episode off, let's do some current events and a recap of what you just went through, Ray.
Current events. Competed at Powerlifting America Nationals. Man, it was cold, man. It was good. I didn't do anything I wanted to do as far as number wise, but that's all cool. And just to give you a backstory, about 3 months ago, I was benching 496. Unracked the weight, felt the pop in my elbow. I had benched it. I was fine. 2 days later, it hurt. So I see my chiro, Dr. Jericho. He works it out, gets me fixed. And then we got hit with a barrage of snow for like 3 weeks. So I couldn't see him, couldn't see my chiro for like 3 weeks. So I kept training. And I ended up making it worse. It got to the point where it just hurt setting up the squat. So fast forward to the meet. Second attempt went well. And then the elbow just started hurting. So I had a choice. Push it, because the goal was 1,036. But I knew if I put that type of weight on my back, I wouldn't been able to bench. So we pulled the squat number back. Because of the elbow, we pulled the bench number back. And deadlift, I've been training for about 6 months without belt. So, yeah, I probably limited myself in deadlift because I've been training beltless so long. But all in all, I went 9 for 9. And I walked away healthy. You know, your best ability is availability. So get back to training here soon. And yeah.
So where does that kind of set you up with Sheffield and Worlds and the World Games and all of that?
I don't care. But just to answer the question, Sheffield, I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you. But Worlds, Jesus Oliveras registered a higher total at Sheffield than I got at Nationals. Henceforth, he gets the bid in the 120 class over me, which, like I said, if the elbow holds up, we push. And my last deadlift, I have the opportunity to try to beat his total, but shit, with one arm, there just was no way. So, congratulations to Jesus on getting the bid to Worlds. Hope you crush it. But yeah, that's why he goes to national. I mean, he goes to Worlds and not me.
Gotcha. So I guess that puts you on the off-season track then to go to nationals next year.
Yep, probably. Got some people here in the gym that are new to Powerlifting America. So I think it'll be cool if we all did like a local meet together. Me and some of the people here at the gym, we may pick a local meet somewhere in the area and go do it as a crew. Or I may do something with my dad at the end of the year. Or if there's a cool meet down in the El Paso, New Mexico area, I may do something down there in December and just treat it like a family vacation. Because my wife is from El Paso, so take her home, get to compete down there in front of her folks, kick it with the other side of the family. Options are wide open, so I don't know.
Right. I didn't know that SPD was doing an event down in Texas. I didn't know which side, so that might be the one you're talking about.
Do you remember the Raleigh meet they did? The cash meet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what they're doing down there in Austin.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's going to be a fun meet and a lot of production behind it. We're cool with Pete Spence and everyone that does that stuff, and Powell, who does a lot of other stuff. So it'd be nice to see.
Hell yeah. And being that, it's such a huge production deal, I would love to see if we can get something like that here. Just for the simple fact that, 2026, 2025 is already in the books. But I would love to see if we could do that here. Like, production-wise, we got all the tools, we got all the equipment, we got the space. It will be a massive meet. So, that's just something that, I would love to see. Maybe a possibility that we can make happen to have that meet here. So, yeah, something for the future.
I agree. Other current events that were going on at the same exact time as yours was we had 6 of our in-house lifting club members go compete at collegiate nationals for USAPL.
Congratulations.
I believe and I say this lightly, the worst in quotation marks, but it was 7 for 9, I believe. And I think all of them had some good PRs, had some good lifts. I think out of the 6, it was for their first time at a national level meet, and they all did really well. Yeah, I'm very proud of all of them, how they did with that.
Oh, man. And the crazy thing is, man, we don't give college kids enough credit for powerlifting and doing this shit at a high level, because I know me, I didn't have the common sense to do powerlifting in college. Like, between being a football player and being in a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, between all that, I absolutely never would. I wouldn't have been able to commit to powerlifting. Like, I wouldn't have. Between the parties and the other shenanigans that go with being in a Greek organization, I just, shout out to all y'all who powerlift in college, maintaining good GPAs and all that good stuff, man. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really fun to see grow. I think when we first started our Chaos Lab gym down in Richmond, we had maybe like 6 or 7 powerlifting members in that club, and now it's well into the 30 range, and now we have people actually going to national level meets, so it's really nice to see.
Like, I think a good majority of our regulars back at Chaos just all either were in college, still in college, and are actually excelling in the sport.
Mm-hmm. It's been a grind, but it's been very fruitful for them. To move into our next little segment, we're going to answer some of your questions that you guys gave us in our last Instagram post. And we want to make sure that we get to them and give them a nice thorough thought.
Yeah, so we got a few categories of questions. I think we got like 10 total. But starting out with more coaching and athlete development questions. What are your favorite and least favorite parts about coaching?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'll start with the least favorite. Least favorite has to be the communication aspect at sometimes, because there is a line where your athlete is your friend, is someone who supports you and you support them the same way. Mm-hmm. And at times it's like, hey guys, I'm at home with my wife. I'd like to be at home with my wife. I was with you at the gym for 2 hours, and I've been in the gym in a total for 8 hours today. So the communication sometimes gets a little sticky, and I like to keep separation up just to, seem normal.
Right.
Best part, it's always seeing their successes. Even if it's just a mental breakthrough of understanding that this heavy weight won't kill you and that this heavy weight is now your warm up. So that has to be my favorite and least favorite parts.
My least favorite is seeing some of the bullshit that my clients do on social media, and then they bring their ass in the gym and they're like, damn, this shit heavy, man. Why is really though? And like, as a coach, you just sit there like, bro, we follow each other on social media. You like literally time stamped every shot you took at the bar, like everyone. And then, so I know you didn't sleep Saturday or Sunday. Like, it's just, the human aspect of being the coach. Like, these are people. These are human beings. They're going to have a good time. And the thing is, like, how I look at powerlifting, people may not look at powerlifting the same. Like, this is what I do. Mm-hmm. That's how some people look at this. Like, this is what I do. But to me, Ray Williams, this is who I am. Like, this is who I am. Like, I'm dedicated to this. I am so all in when it comes to powerlifting. So you just have to understand, as a coach, everybody's not going to look at it like you do. That's my least favorite part. And I guess that's the part that took me the longest to deal with. Like, it's kind of like Cat Williams said, bruh, I see you.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
But yeah, put that clip in there.
You got to let that go and just remember that these are people too. And they're not, they're not going to be Leonidas 300 for powerlifting. But my favorite part is, like he said, it's watching these people grow into badasses, man. When you get somebody who didn't know nothing about the barbell, and then they just all of a sudden morph into a badass, they want to, play that System of a Down shit you were playing. Like, like, okay, I see. I didn't know you had that up in you. Like it's little shit like that because, bro, powerlifting, if you walk in that room right now where it's weights and cold ass steel, it's, even though we're big dudes, emotionally, we enjoy being around our people. So seeing them grow, shit, that's a win for me.
Yeah. Cool. So the next question is, what qualities and characteristics define a good coach in powerlifting?
Hold on. I'll let you answer that. Somebody sent me something the other day. I'm going to find it. And then, so you go ahead, brother.
Let's say, I know I saw something the other day too. Elite FTS put out like rank your coach and some of the qualities that you should rank your coach on. For me, I always say that you have to have skin in the game. Like you have to have competed. You have to have reffed, done something in the sport in order to be considered a good coach. Not only that is that you have to have good experience. You can't just go, 3 for 9 in all your meets and expect to have a good success with this coach.
Right.
I personally have education behind it. I believe that not only just certifications, but I took the time to study and have a 4-year degree behind exercise science. I also take the time to read textbooks. Everything is science-based, but also you have to be able to adapt to what comes out new. I mean, other than that, success. I have to see success.
Right.
Like my coach is a world-renowned powerlifter who has broken many world records on the untested scene. And he's also a huge savvy business guy. So like, that's just another A+ for me in my book.
What's your thoughts on, and I've noticed this, a lot of younger kids in the sport offering coaching to other kids in their circle?
I mean, everyone starts everywhere, in their own spot. Like maybe after your third meet, you can be like, hey, I enjoy this. I'm going to go pursue it. They look on Reddit on how to build a program. They search up some YouTube videos of someone explaining it. And then they start like giving out free programs. Sure. Because no one really gets hurt that way. But if you come out the gate after your first meet and think you're a coach because you went 8 for 9 at a local meet, like, don't do that shit. Don't charge your friend $60 right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like,
I've always wondered that, seeing some of that going on in the scene here. And like, I feel like at some point you need to consider seniority, like you were saying, like previous proven success. But I mean,
no, yeah. I mean, like, because reality is that your friend's going to take you to a certain point. Then they're honestly going to go to us. And I say that because you have a world-renowned powerlifter and you have someone who's coached and been in it for a while. Like, they're going to go to the experience no matter what. At the end point, that's just where you're going to end up at.
Makes sense.
So this is what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. Dave Tate put up,
Yeah. So, Dave Tate made a post, some of the things you can rank, that you look for in a powerlifting coach, knowledge and experience, adaptability, track record of success, communication skills, and, just those things. Like, that's some of the stuff you should look for in a coach, especially if you're a novice to the sport. And y'all almost made me cuss. Like, as far as young kids coaching other kids, like, bro, that's when you see like the dumbest shit ever. Like, ever. Like, I feel like Squint's like forever. Like, that's when you see a motherfucker post, I'm in my block of ones. You in your what? The fuck is that? Like, so you're peaking. Like, or you see somebody, well, I'm 4 weeks out and my coach has got me doing this variational ballistic training. Like, what? Like, are you 4 weeks out from an NFL combine? Like, why are you, what? Like,
yeah. Or your coach won't explain what you're doing in your peaking cycle and just like trust the process. It's like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No.
Right.
He's just lying to you. He's lying to you. He took your money, he's just lying to you.
Like, but for me, if I'm a novice, and I'm not going to sit up here and sound biased towards people who have won championships and all that, bro. It's kind of like some of the best. Some coaches, like Sean alluded to, they got education. They grew up in a gym or a weight room. They may have never powerlifted before, but they know the human body. You know, knowledge is something that you just can't take for granted. Like, people don't understand that sometimes if your subscapula is stuck, you will eventually have bicep pain. You will have front delt pain. Like, if your coach doesn't have basic knowledge of the human body, or sometimes just because your knee is hurting, that doesn't mean this is a knee problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a guy the other day, oh man, damn man, the inside of my knee has been killing me. Well, sir, there's a tendon that runs from the foot. It splits the muscles in the calf and it connects to the inside of your knee. So what you do is you take a lacrosse ball and you roll out your foot, particularly the inside of your arch, and that knee pain will get better. And it did. So, you know, like, get you a coach that knows the human body, that knows a little bit. Because I'm not going to sit up here and make it sound like we know everything. We don't. But have basic knowledge of the human body. That way, if you're dealing with something, I'm not about to send you out here to get a $400 massage that ain't going to do you a lick of fucking good, because it could be something more serious.
Anatomy is huge.
Yes.
It is huge. So
I'm big on the knowledge and experience. It's not necessarily the fact that I've competed or that I am a champion powerlifter or world record. That has nothing to do with the fact that I know a little bit about the human body. You know, that's just like myself. Right now, I'm dealing with some shit, histamine intolerance.
Yeah, can you explain what that is?
Okay, so the human body, part of your immune system is when certain stressors take place, your body releases histamines, or your white blood cells release these granules. And part of that is histamine. And the human brain has all four, because there's 4 histamine receptors. The human brain has all 4, which means when your body is producing more histamine than the body can break down and push out, that's why people have anxiety. That's why they have trouble sleeping and a bunch of other problems. But the thing is, you have histamine receptors all over your body, and it can present itself in different ways depending on what part of the body or what histamine receptors get activated or overstimulated. For example, the skin. The skin has histamine receptors. That can show up as rashes or being flushed because the blood vessels get constricted. Me, it shows up as sinus congestion. Like right now, I have so much pressure in my sinuses, and then I have headaches as well. So in my mind, for all these years after I competed, I blamed it on the fact that I'm traveling through airports. I'm around all these lifters. Man, I get sick every time I compete. But the thing is, I'm not sick. It's just all this stress I put on my body. Your body releases all these histamines, and my body just can't get rid of them fast enough. So I just feel like crap right now because I'm dealing with that.
Is there anything you can take to help with that, or is it more of a holistic thing?
There are antihistamines out there in the world, but if you listen to the commercials or listen to, you know, some of the experts, a lot of that shit got side effects. So I'd rather just let this shit run its course.
Yeah, I would say I have an athlete right now. She just competed this like past weekend when I was up in New Jersey, and she's doing some of the same stuff. And like when he was talking about it, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Why everyone has that, you know, rebound off of the meat. It's not always going to be the same histamine response, but it can also be your immune system is just fighting for its life. And we do a sport that pushes you to your exact limits, because once you get past them, you're going to not lift. But like, I can exactly see where this is going.
Cool. So the next question is, what is the right experience level for someone to compete in a regional or national level?
Y'all don't do regionals in PA, right?
Yeah. That's NAPS. NAPS is regionals.
Okay.
Gotcha. I was going to say for USAPL and PLU, I believe there is a dot requirement starting next year in 2026. But with USPA, they're rolling out their first ever regionals next year, and they have no dot requirement or total requirement. So, I mean, with those, it's just a larger local meet for the most part. Some of them can be higher production associated with them. I know we just ran one for PLU, and like we had more production, had a little bit more pizzazz to it, but all in all, it's a local meet. Nationals, I feel like you do need to earn some, time to get, because most time you're not going to want to walk onto the national stage after your second meet.
Right.
You wanted to build and have some quality numbers. Usually, I always will say that the experience of a national level meet is one of a kind. And if you're close to it, go to it, because like we're going to New Jersey this summer. If it's in Arizona, I'm not sure if I can travel to the West Coast as easy.
Right.
It's not a 1 hour flight. It's now a 4 hour flight, a couple $1,000s for an Airbnb and possibly a vehicle. So, it's up to that person. How do you feel, Ray?
Okay, so are you asking like for the actual lifter?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But because you're gonna have some people that are just like so I want to make sure I'm in the right context. So are you saying the lifter should have a certain level of experience before going to these meets?
Well, that's
To
a question.
national, yes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
To nationals, yes. To regionals, no. Just because nationals can be overwhelming for some.
It depends, because bruh, these new kids, bruh, they freaks of nature. Like, bruh, it's an 18-year-old. No, let's run that back. I watched Rondell Hunt. Rondell Hunt is the best powerlifter on this planet. The man is 264 pounds. And he deadlifted 937, 934 in prep and attempted 909 at the meet and almost got it. Bench press 570-ish. That man is one of the best lifters on this planet. So you got to add a little context to that, because if you got a unicorn, then they're going to be a unicorn no matter where they're at. So experience level may not matter to some people, because some people just may be good at what they do.
Good point.
That's fair.
But for the average person who isn't, I say, man, I say fucking do it. Like, you ain't gonna know until you know. Like even if you do take the slow route, national's still gonna overwhelm you, because you're gonna see, on one hand, you're gonna be competing in one of the biggest meets of your life, and then on the next, you may start fanboying or fangirling because, oh my God, I watch you on, it's gonna be so many different things. So I just say, just do it and let the chips fall where they may, because you may decide in that moment, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'll just be a yard dog and be one of the best powerlifters in Virginia and let it be where it is. I'm happy winning states every year. I don't want to go do anything else, So I just say, hell, do it. If you get invited and you got like he alluded to, if you got the resources to do it, man, go do it.
As a side question, just speaking on the fangirling and stuff, I know you're one of the very few people I notice that will take pictures with everyone who asks and, talk to them and give them advice. Does that ever affect you, like, mentally, that that you're going to have like 100 people come up to you at a meet and want to take a picture and talk to you?
It has times, like you have to block off times. Like pre-meet, I'm good. I'll do it. During the meet, leave me alone. Like, it's just, because it's hard to come, because whatever motivates you, me, I'm rage, anger, like Tom Brady used to create enemies in his head. Like, I'm the same way. Like, everybody in the warm-up room don't like me and they want to kill me. Like, I'm in a headspace, and I want to stay there until the end of the meet. So Yeah. After the meet, I'm fine. But, like, why not stop and take a picture and be nice to somebody? Like, Brandon, like I told you before in the first podcast, man, this is powerlifting. If Donald Trump outlawed powerlifting today, the world wouldn't change. There's no significant impact on the planet that would occur if powerlifting just vanished today. So why would I be an asshole or a mean person about that thing?
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
That you wish that more influencers did that.
Yeah.
Because there's that saying, like, don't meet your heroes. And it's like, well, Ray literally is the exception.
Yeah. Legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met, especially in this sphere of fitness world.
And from appearance, you would think no. You can go with the next one.
All right, we're moving on to a different category, more like mindset, mental training, just emotional depth. How do you develop the mental resilience needed to push through the self-doubt that comes with heavy lifts?
I'm guessing that's geared toward like the fear of a heavy lift or like a new PR.
Yeah, I guess just the anxiety and the self-doubt. You're going to hit a big lift or you're hitting your, final lift of the meet. And it's like, how do you push through the self-doubt? Like, am I going to make it? Am I going to get this?
So Ray said it before and it clicked. It's something that I do. It's if I'm nervous or I have any doubt, then I don't trust what got me to this point.
Right.
Like Andy put the program together. I followed the program. I made the weight. I'm there. Everything is set. Like there should be no more doubt in my mind. Right. The only thing that can create doubt is if you have a freak injury. Like if you go down the bottom of a squat and you feel a sharp pain in your glute, then yes, there is a little bit cause for concern. Sharp pains are something you don't avoid. Dull aches, you do avoid. But yeah, I don't particularly have any of that. But like with one of my lifters in particular, she has a lot of anxiety when it comes to big lifts. And I have to legitimately look her in her eyes and tell her that you're going to lift this because you've done it before. And for her, it's just having someone verbally say that is the click. So sometimes if you have a cue that you need to have, someone holds your hand, someone looks in your eyes, you just got to do it as a coach. But for me, I don't personally have anything.
What about you, Ray?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch.
For me, it's my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
Like, before a meet, especially on a squat, you'll often see me staring at my phone. I'm looking at pictures of my wife and my kids. Like, this is what I'm doing this shit for. Like, ain't no fucking failing. If I fail, just understand that everything I had got left out there on the platform. But I do this shit for my wife and my kids. Like, I want them to be proud of me. If I became a heel or public enemy number one and nobody liked me, I don't give a damn. I still got my wife and my kids.
Do they come out to the meets and hype you up?
Even if they don't, I know they're watching. So, it's one of them deals like, what motivates you? What pushes you? Like, why do you, as much as we've all accomplished doing this, why do you still do it? Other than the fact that you want to and you want to be great. I want my kids and my wife to be proud of me. So failing ain't an option. Like, ain't no fear. Ain't no fear. And it's one of them deals like, how much would you go through for the people you love?
That makes sense.
Hell yeah. Like it sometimes it's too much because, you get to scrolling through pictures and you get to thinking about memories and shit. Next thing you know, you got tears in your eyes. You ready to fucking fight. So, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them, like just if you go back, listen to what I said right before that. You filmed it. Listen to what I said right before I squatted that 1,003. This is for the family. That's right. Always my mindset. There ain't nothing else in the world that can motivate me enough to put this shit on my back at 38 years old. To where I'm knowing if I go down, this shit gotta come back up. And I give that advice to any lifter. What are you doing this shit for? If you're doing this to be cool, then hell yeah, doubt is going to seep in at some point in time because eventually fatigue, fear, all that shit is going to mount up And being cool just ain't gonna be enough motivation. But for the lifters out there who got kids and your kids be at the meet in the front row screaming, mommy, daddy, whatever the case may be, shit. Well, that's better than cocaine.
So, I mean, that kind of answers the next question already. So I guess I'm going to ask it to you specifically, Sean, but like, what strategies do you use to silence any negative thoughts and stay focused under the bar? So a bit more of a specific in the moment.
I mean, I believe music heals all as well. Whatever you have in your ears. Sometimes you can have something too chaotic going on and that will create the anxiety in your feelings. So like a serial killer, I listen to classical music. I'm listening to like a specifics. So like my wife sings and there's one video I do play that has her singing. And it's like that soothing that quiets the anxiety or whatever maybe having, because my heart is just like, I'm ready to go. That's pretty much the only strategies I have is music or some kind of soothing sound.
So he's the Hulk and his wife.
The Black Widow.
The one lady that calm the Hulk.
The sun's down. It's getting low. So moving on to training female lifters. What strategies do you use to help female lifters push through mental or physical challenges related to their cycle while still listening to their bodies?
You got to be understanding. Like when it comes to female lifters, as a man, because sometimes you can watch a female lifter do like some amazing shit one week, and then the next week they're emotional, they're teary, you know. Like you got to be understanding, because as a man, we think we're some of the toughest motherfuckers on the world and on the planet, but women go through a lot. Like, has anybody ever seen the period cramp challenge where they hook the TENS unit up?
No.
So just imagine squatting, deadlifting, benching with a damn TENS unit attached to your abdomen and that motherfucker on full blast. Like, I, as a man, can't imagine what women go through when they go in there. So you got to be sensitive to that shit. Like, they can be in some, and every period cramp is not created equal. Some women go through it.
Yeah.
Like, go through it. So that's why, bro, if you're a male coach and you got female clients, you got to listen. You got to be understanding. And sometimes, and I know as a coach, it's hard to do. Sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up and listen.
I also take a science-based approach with it. We're pretty open about like what your cycle is, how that affects going into prep. Because we also want to take care of your water cuts, any kind of travel modifications, and on meet day, like what kind of things we're going to be expecting. And most of my girls luckily miss it on meet day, or it's just in that window. So typically the majority of women on the team, just keeping it very basic, they start pretty heavy and pretty in pain and fatigued those first 2 days of theirs. But that third and fourth day, it's like they're superhuman.
Right.
You'll see them do some of the craziest lifts, and you would think that they'd be on the bed dead on how they started the week. There's also a lot of products on the market right now that help subside a lot of those things that don't interfere with the competition at all. So we try to, again, listen and see what they need in that moment. Motivationally, it's just having to understand like that they need to be able to have comfort this week. Have some grace. It's not going to kill you as a coach to have some grace.
Yeah. So like, have you noticed any like common trends in how women respond to heavy lifting? Like, how do you adjust the intensity or the volume of the program if, you know?
He said it. You got to know what phase of the cycle they're in, because they're going to go from fatigue to emotional to just on one leg dead. And then one phase is just like, damn, they're the strongest people in the gym. So you got to know what phase they're in. Like, I don't try to build my program around it. That's just too complicated, because that means every woman is different though. Some women, it don't phase them at all. But, you know, some it does. So I create the program. And if it just gets to the point where they can't function, this is what we're going to do this week. We're going to deload this week.
Yeah. You flip it. You might even flip the days of like instead of squatting on Monday, which is happens to be the day it starts, like you flip that shit to Friday.
Right.
And you might back down the intensity entirely that week.
Cool. So moving on to sport culture and fun questions. What's your top 5 unpopular opinions on powerlifting?
Top 5 unpopular opinions in powerlifting.
Any hot takes you have, I guess.
Well, so is this gym talk?
You can lead into it.
This is
gym talk.
Yeah,
Oh, well, shit. We talk about what's going on in the world right now.
the knee sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Mr. Sean, I will let you start.
So context on this story is that IPF decided to ban all stiff sleeves, including the most infamous Inzer Ergos, A7 Rigor Mortis, Iron Rebel stiff sleeves, and all the above. Essentially making it that only Stoic soft sleeves, I think they're called performance sleeves, and SPD are the only ones you can use in IPF competitions. So that has caused uproar in a lot of communities because you had a kid buy a $140 sleeve for the past 4 years, and now you're telling them they can't use them.
I have a question though.
What's up?
All right, so let's flip this from powerlifting to business, because I actually said this 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did people actually think this wasn't gonna happen? Do people not realize how much SBD has invested in Powerlifting America and the IPF? Like the Sheffield, these big money meets they're putting on. Like, people just thought that, hey, we're going to help grow the sport. We're going to help
our competitors.
Yeah, like people didn't think this was going to happen. And I'm watching people on social media be flabbergasted. Like, oh my God, this is so not for the lifter. What? Bro, this is business.
Yeah.
So turn the emotion down to zero and realize, bro, this is business.
Yeah.
Name one major meet that you have not streamed or been to where you haven't seen SBD plastered on the banner, on the wall screen, on the meet shirts. Like, these people are pumping major dollars and resources into growing IPF Powerlifting America. And you think I'm just going to let my competitor march in and take a market share? And let me ask you this. What are these companies doing for the sport? Where they big meets at?
Yeah.
Where they money meets at? Because you're saying a pair of knee sleeves costs $140. And if I'm seeing this particular sleeve everywhere, where they money meet at?
True.
Fair.
It's also like in a lot of sports, I mean, for better or worse, a lot of the equipment athletes use, think UFC, think NFL, they come from specific brands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, powerlifting in that aspect is still very young. You still have a lot of people who have varying brands and everything. So like Inzer used to be the primary sponsor of IPF multiply and single ply divisions because they were the best in the business for that.
Mm-hmm.
Since that kind of divisions kind of fell off, you saw SPD pick up the mantle and take Raw with it. I will say that I didn't see them banning coming, but I saw a change happening that you saw SPD not make a stiffer sleeve. They made a better performance sleeve with the new textured one that's out.
Yes.
And it's like, why did they do that? And a year later, now we see why.
Right.
It's like they made it the only sleeve that's going to be allowed.
It's been in the
and it
works.
makes sense. If I'm going to make all this money off of these meets, because it's USPA, PLU, USAPL, and everyone else, like they're throwing SPD dollars everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that you can't wear nothing but my stuff on the platform. And I mean, you have SPD athletes who actually are sponsored athletes, not just getting a discount code and saying that you are.
Yeah, like an ambassador.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you guys are in media, right? So just imagine if you produced a product that can be worn on the platform, but you also own your media company. So you're at a meet that you're the title sponsor at. A crazy lift occurs, but you can't share that shit because they're wearing the competitor stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You lose. So just, I totally don't understand the uproar. That's like, okay, you play college ball, right? So if your college is sponsored by Nike, you would be a damn fool to run out on the field with Adidas cleats.
You ain't playing that day.
Yeah.
Or you better take some tape and put it over
the school is going to get a fine, and
it.
you're probably going to, like, if you get any NIL money, you're probably going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Or the school could be at risk for losing their sponsorship.
I think some of the uproar, I feel like, from what I've observed, is more so just the transparency of it, where it's like they're making it a technical thing. Oh, you can't use this because it's too stiff.
Yeah, it's too.
If they just said this is an SBD federation now, you can only wear that, I feel like it'd be more fair.
Oh, 100%.
Just because that's what happens in every other sport. You know, they're just like, well, we're only wearing Nike. Why? Because they paid us.
The rest of the money.
Yeah. It's not because, Nike's a little less stiff and it's a little less. So, the federation needs to make that the standard.
The NFL did that. They went from Reebok and completely overnight switched to Nike.
Yeah.
They completely shut out all other companies.
But where in business does that occur? Because, see, I think what we're talking about now is the difference between honesty and transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty is, hey, babe, I'm going out to have lunch with Sean. Transparency is, hey, babe, I'm going out to have lunch with Sean, and Sean is bringing his single friend from college who he says she likes powerlifters. Like, there's a difference between honesty and transparency.
Right.
So that's like, use your example. When the NFL switched from Nike to Reebok. Well, we're going to switch from Nike to Reebok because, the youth of today, they're more attracted to Nike. It's a bigger brand and it's a more youthful brand. We feel like, oh, so it ain't got nothing to do with the $3.7 billion. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
Of course not.
So, it's business,
Yeah.
And I just think people are mad because, like, Brett, like, if you own a business, please tell me you did not see this coming. I said this 2 years ago. This ain't gonna last long. It's not.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a personal example. When I was younger, a younger powerlifter, brands used to send me stuff all the time. And me being an SBD athlete, I've been an SBD athlete since 2012 when they came out. So I had enough sense to know that if they don't produce stuff that directly competes with SBD, like when A7 first came out with the grip shirts.
Right.
Like, I had a few grip shirts. I would squat in them from time to time because I knew this ain't allowed on the platform. But if this was something that could be worn on the platform, I wouldn't have been able to wear that. And I knew it. And I had enough common sense to know I can't wear, post, talk about, promote this product because it is a direct competitor with my biggest sponsor. I knew that.
So you think this will cause brands to maybe be a bit more wary about giving out gear if they can't get it on the platform anyway?
No, I think you'll see, honestly, A7. I think you'll see A7 step to the plate finally because they're honestly growing just the same as SBD. You'll see them take over a meet. They'll actually see that, okay, SBD put down the game plan. We missed the mark and now they have Sheffield, they have Worlds, they have World Games.
You think they're going to double down?
They're going to be like, all right, well, USAPL is our ticket then.
Yeah.
They were just at Collegiate Nat. So it's like, I can see them doing that. I can see Iron Rebel and Ghost and Pioneer splitting up the untested scene and all the other federations that are non-power bar. I don't think you'll see a decline in material being sent out to athletes. It's just, I think you'll see a decline in the number of athletes, period.
I see.
Like, you'll start to see some, like, honestly to God, like, freaks. Some people that are snatching 900 pounds like it's air. Like, you're not going to just have any person that just has 20,000 followers get a pair of knee sleeves sent to them anymore.
Right.
Too much money.
Yeah.
And this person can be bought, clearly.
They're
if I send them one pair of knee sleeves and the next day
they're going to be looking for a better return of investment.
Exactly. No longer are you going to have just these TikTok people.
And then powerlifting is going to become more divided because if what he says happens, now if A7, let's say A7 tries to take over USAPL, you can't wear, what they're going to say, you can't wear SBDs in the USAPL anymore? Is that what's going to happen? When I've seen posts everywhere, well, if you want to wear whatever you want, you compete in these federations. And then the same thing happens.
Right.
Then what?
Right.
That's why I just say, bro, it's business.
Yeah, everybody has morals until money comes in. There's a lot of people that were good people until they had a lot of money thrown in their face.
100%.
That makes sense.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have, like, the SBD showdown, the A7 All-American Challenge or something like that. To have more of the money get put back into the sport would be great. It's just, it would still be divided as hell.
Yeah. But like the funnels, the sources of income that come to the sport are getting like consolidated.
I think you'll start to see it more and more, especially with the market being the way it is.
Yeah. Probably not a bad thing.
There's always a silver lining.
But kind of rolling into the next question, what are your favorite and least favorite trends that you're seeing in the sport more recently, and why?
Honestly, online bitching. Like everyone runs to the camera and records himself being angry or super sad, and they don't give it like a second thought to be like, maybe I'm sad and upset for the right reason, like the wrong reason. Like you'll see someone like, oh, this meet director put tape on the bar in the wrong spot, and that's exactly where I put my thumbs. Or my meet went so bad because I caught a tummy ache the night before, and they just film it. And it's like sympathy engagement. I hate that shit. I hate rage baiting. Like trolling is different, but like rage baiting is, there's some that are really good at it.
What do you think about that, Ray?
My least favorite trend that's going on right now. Well, I guess it's the fact that with powerlifting, and the reason powerlifting is so intimidating to people, is because when it comes to the sport, only those at the top get talked about. And they're at the top for a reason, because they're super strong. They're like godlessly strong. And those are the people you see all the time. They don't talk about the people at the bottom, the people who are just starting, the people who are finding their way in the sport. My thing is, if you only talk about the 1%, then what is there, for the 99? And what do I mean by that? Okay, so all federations want to grow, right? Right. If I don't celebrate the little guy some way, shape, or form, then my federation won't grow. If I put all my resources and I'm going to celebrate the big dogs, I'm going to showcase the big dogs. Eventually, what happens is, if this is the 1%, in the sport of powerlifting, you can only go so far so fast.
Right.
That's just the bottom line. The human body will eventually let you down. That's just what happens. That's just what happens. And if you're only talking about the 1%, then everybody else that you weren't talking about, the people who are supporting the 1%, shit, they're going to go somewhere where they feel like I can be celebrated.
Right.
Or my 5 kilo PR can be talked about. It wasn't a world record, but how do I go somewhere where I can be celebrated? I think that's one of the biggest issues in the sport. And that's why people are so intimidated by powerlifting, because they only see the ungodly stuff. It's more to powerlifting than this. Like, prime example, here at the Ironbuilt Lifting Club, man, you're a damn coach. You're a damn counselor. You listen to problems. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we put such a huge emphasis on celebrating our people, no matter what the hell they're doing. Even if they're just in this room dancing and, having fun, you have to celebrate people. And I think not enough of that gets done in the sport of powerlifting. Like, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to know Ray Williams. Everybody wants to know the Russell Ortiz. Everybody wants to know these people's stories.
Right.
Everybody does. But once it gets told one time, once that person does one podcast, okay, his story's been told. Can we move on to the next person? And not enough of that happens. And that's why I think powerlifting just don't grow at the same rate that some of these community-based sports like CrossFit and weightlifting, they don't grow at the same rate. They don't. Because the little guy don't feel celebrated.
So what do you think we can do to sort of address that?
With the Ironbuilt games.
The Ironbuilt games?
The Ironbuilt games. We're treating it just like the CrossFit Open. Simultaneous meets that will occur that have local people a part of it. Like it was with USPA last year. Now it's going to be a part of USAPL going forward. Bringing in the smaller person to have a chance to then be the best at the local level and then compete for a bigger challenge with the people nationally at that point. That's one of the things that we're doing here at Ironbuilt Lifting Club.
And that's the same format that CrossFit does. That's the same format that weightlifting does. And those communities are tighter.
Yeah.
Those people join weightlifting gyms and stay there for decades. Like powerlifting, somebody may powerlift just long enough to get bored.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this shit? Like if one of your people get to the point where they're asking themselves, why am I doing this shit? Somebody failed them. If you're their coach, you failed them.
Yeah.
They should know why they're doing it because you're part of something great. We're building something. That's why anybody that signs up for this club, when do you want to do a meet? Because we ain't doing this shit just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need you to have an end goal. I need you to be racing towards something so that you don't get the opportunity to get bored. And that's one of the things we're trying to do with this Ironbuilt TV thing. Like, my goal, I think something that'll help the gym, let's talk about our members. Let's tell their stories. Why are you in the gym? What are some things that you want to be put on display when somebody talks or thinks about you? What makes you you?
I agree.
And you'll be seeing a lot more of that coming from us.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Final question. Who would each of you pick in a fantasy draft to have as part of your team in a team competition?
Okay, it's funny that you say that because we're actually working on something.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't know if you wanted to say that or not.
Yeah, we're working on something where it's going to be cool. It's kind of what we were it's actually the exact same thing we were just talking about, where you don't have to be a powerlifter to powerlift. And it's how you grow the sport, but we got something in the works that we think is going to be massive. But if I could pick somebody to be on my team, one person.
Sure, let's go with that.
Sure. It has to be somebody I'm cool with. I don't know, because if I pick one person, a lot of folks gonna be mad. Like, oh, you didn't pick me, man, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm cheating. I'm cheating like hell. Like 5 people I can pick on my team.
I know, right?
I'm running up the top of the open powerlifting. I'm running what is it? Christy Hawkins, John Hack, Perk, Rondell, Ray. Boom. I won. You can't win after that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but just like people that like I would be cool with on a team.
Yeah. What if we narrow it down to more of the local level? People in Virginia. It doesn't have to be people who come here. It doesn't have to be your clients. Just in Virginia.
I'm gonna pick all the people here.
Fair.
Just for the simple fact that even if we don't win, we're gonna have a great fucking time. And we're gonna go eat some good food after. Cause like, bro,
Our people are funny. They're a good time.
We got some monsters in this gym. Just the people I've just now got to know, and this is just me running off names. You got people like Yasmin, cool as a damn fan, strong as fucking ox, but cool as hell. You've got Misha, you've got Jose, you've got, Chandler, he'll pop in every once in a while, but he works hard, he gets the hell out of here. He really don't have a whole bunch of words because he's a teacher. And, he ain't got a lot of time in the gym. Then you got the people that have been here for a minute. Auntie got to be on my team, because, her and her husband, Daniel, they going to come with the baked goods. You got to have the cookies.
She's always so nice when you see her in the evening, too.
Got to have my girl Tiffany on there. My boy Tabars. Like, for me, it's going to be the biggest fuck around fest ever. Like, I don't even want to lift. I just want to be on the team. Then I got to have my man Daniel on there because he's the person who, he is like, boy, when I tell you he is like, how can I describe my man Daniel? Like, I can't even describe, but he's like one of the coolest people. And he can damn near fix anything. Like, he's the dude that when a bolt got stuck on the cable machine, he goes out, gets a fucking saw and cuts it off. Like, you would have this shit in your truck.
Yeah.
And then my dude Bill. Like, my dude Bill, me and him, we would be like the coaches and just, the directors of the fuck around sessions. Like, yeah, like I would just go to have fun. It wouldn't even be about lifting.
I think that's the best way to approach it. Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
So I'm saying it's like you have the best people around you just to have fun, like easily just people on our team. If you really want to clip it and put it on Instagram, like that super team I put up, like if someone put up a better team than that, go figure, because run off celebrity names at that point.
Well, we're out of questions.
If run out of questions there,
we're run out of questions.
Solid. I guess we can start talking about just the random gym things we've been waiting to talk about, like Ray's pre-workout idea and some of the outrageousness we have planned on.
Look at him go.
So
this is a great business idea that's going to be innovative. So I need everyone to have their ears on.
So pre-workout typically is something that every power lifter has. And I came up with a name for some pre-workout that I think would be a top seller. Now, I'm not going to say the first word. I'm going to say the first letter.
You can say the word. I'll censor it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay, so the name of the pre-workout is juice. And I think that would be a number one seller. Like, because just imagine you being in the gym. Yeah, man, and you just geeking, you shaking. Man, what you want, man? I'm on that juice. Like, this dude here, boy. Yeah. So tell me, bro, you can't tell me that's not a top. Bro, that everybody would be on that.
You should sponsor an athlete with it. Have it on a shirt.
What? And you wouldn't rock that?
Yeah, I would wear that.
Okay, then.
I was going to say, for like all intents and purposes, like with 110%, we have dill pickle lemonade.
Well, that's how the conversation started.
Exactly.
I asked Ray if he had tried the pickle flavor, and he looked at me like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Bro, I'm sorry.
I haven't brought it in yet for him. I have to bring it in now that Nationals is done, because it really is a good flavor. But the whole point of that thing selling was the fact that Kevin put his face on a pickle as a meme, and he was like, no one's going to buy this shit. It's sold out. It's sold out in like the first hour.
It's
so
my
you had to
favorite flavor.
Now it's a running flavor because it's so popular.
Lemonade and pickles.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's pink lemonade with a hint of pickle on the back end.
Just a little bit of that sodium kick.
It's ideal. It's good.
Bro, that sounds like pee. Like
we're talking about drinking pussy juice.
Yeah.
You don't drink pickle.
Pink lemonade with a hint of piss. I'm sorry, because this is a product, so I apologize.
No, he would laugh.
We're gonna have Ray try it on the next podcast for sure.
Shout out to Jocko Fuel. Man, it is fucking French fry lights in here. I'm sweating like a damn. Like I'm made up.
Well, that's good. That's going to close us out anyway. Thank you again for turning into another Ironbuilt podcast.